this is going deep, because we in ourselves, most people, most of us, even me, we feel that we're not good enough as we are. And nobody would want to buy my stuff as I am because I'm not good enough. It's a deep-seated insecurity. I'm going to piss so many people off with saying this too. But it's like, but if I look at it and we actually call ourselves out, I can just imagine all the egos like just being wrung by me saying this. But like I look back on like me like a couple of years ago, like I used to embellish my stats. I used to try and make myself look better because I thought, oh, well, I'm only making 10K a week. It's not good enough. It should be 15K a week or 12K or whatever it is, and embellish myself and make myself seem better. You know, I'm not good enough at 8% body fat. I've got to be 6%. And we have this internal thing where we tell ourselves that we're not good enough as we are. And when we don't accept ourselves as we are, if we aren't proud of ourselves as who we are and we don't love ourselves for who we are, then of course we're going to go put out some inauthentic because we think that's what's good enough. We have this ideal of what's good enough. We're so busy living in the future and not in the now and not in the current time that we have to embellish. It's not that we even have a choice. We have to. And so the real solution to this is, first of all, here's the most hippie thing I've ever said online, is just love yourself, right? Give yourself some fucking love and know that you're actually good enough as you are. And that if you're authentic and you're actually someone who's good, you're someone who does work really hard at what you do. You do genuinely love what you're doing. You're following your passion. You're doing these sorts of things and you're all about it. What you're putting out will be good enough, right? It certainly will be good enough, and you are good enough to attract people. You've just got to learn to accept yourself for who you are and push that out. When you do that, then you'll have far more success than ever, even if the version of who you are isn't as good as this make-believe version that you want to create.
Yeah. There's a large element from your style of actually creating such a powerful foundation in yourself, right? It's getting your mind. You got to get happy with who you are, because otherwise your platform for building everything else becomes very shaky. Now, you mentioned the spirituality aspect, which, you know, I don't believe with you is necessarily like religion per se, but what do you do in that regard to really get your mind as strong as it is?
Definitely not religion. All right.
Yes.
Definitely not religion. But in terms of making your mind as strong as possible, here's the easiest ways to start doing that is, first of all, this is one of my favorite exercises. First of all, think of all the negative self-talk that you have to yourself, that we all have in our head. We always get it. We say, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that, nobody would ever love you, nobody would ever care about you. You know, that sort of stuff. It always happens. Even when you're in the gym and you're lifting heavy, that little voice kicks in. It's like, you're going to miss this. You're going to fail. Right? You're going to do that. We've all had that before. So when you look at that voice, then what I want you to do is I want you to go get a photo of yourself as a baby, right? And I want you to go and say all those same words to yourself as a baby. The really interesting thing is you can't. Can you imagine saying that shit to a beautiful, like just newborn, fresh child? Like even any sort of child. Can you imagine saying that to a kid? Like that would just be so up. Here's the thing. You're still that person. Like that's you. Like there's a photo of you right in front of you from when you're a kid. Like going through and like looking at that kid, and you look at that with nothing but love and like looking at it, is like, you're awesome. That's how we should be speaking to ourselves. And so if we can start speaking to ourselves as we would when we're a kid, and we just get rid of the rest of the just leave it alone, like push it to the side, that'll be the first thing that'll make you realize you'll actually feel all, you know, warm and wholesome when you go and do this. You'll feel really, really nice when you do that. But doing that, first of all, you will feel good. You will stop giving yourself such a hard time. You will become less insecure. You will become much more secure within yourself and much, much happier. And then when you start doing that, first of all, you'll stop judging others. You'll stop giving others such a hard time and having your conceptions and judgments onto them. And then from there, your confidence will skyrocket because you actually like yourself for who you are. For all your flaws, here's a fun fact. No one's perfect.